Ghana ranked 39th out of 180 countries in this year's World Press Freedom Day, and number 4 in Africa. In 2023, Ghana ranked 62. So we have come from far. Under the NPP, we were number 62 out of 180. Today, under President Mahama, we are number 39. That is progress.
Speaker, let me thank you for this treasure space to make this statement on the matter of free speech, civil liberties, and the rule of law in Ghana. Speaker, there are moments in the life of a nation that demand more than politics, moments that call upon us to speak as custodians of something sacred. This is one of such moments. Ghana was built by men and women who believed that truth must be free to speak, that power must be free to be questioned, and that no government, however well-intentioned, holds a mandate to muzzle the voice of the people. What is happening in this country today goes beyond partisan politics. It is a question edged into the conscience of the nation itself about the kind of Ghana we are and whether we still have the courage to remain the Ghana we promised the world would be. Ghana's democracy is among the most celebrated on the African continent. We have earned that distinction through decades of sacrifice, civic vigilance, and unrelenting commitment to constitutionalism. We have weathered coups, transitions, and the painful growing pains of young republic. Each time, we have chosen to return to the rule of law. Each time, we have reaffirmed that the will of the people, freely expressed, is the only legitimate source of power in this land. The right to free expression, enshrined in Article 21(1)(a) of our Constitution, is a birthright. It is the oxygen of democracy. And when that oxygen is restricted, the body politic begins quietly and dangerously to suffocate. Now, the weight of what has happened, Mr. Speaker, it is now a matter of public record that a number of Ghanaian citizens, members of the opposition New Patriotic Party, have been arrested in circumstances that have unsettled civil society, alarmed legal community, and provoked anxiety among the Ghanaian public. We do not use the word anxiety lightly. Anxiety is what people feel when they begin to wonder whether the rules that protect them still apply. When they begin to calculate before they speak whether speaking is safe. That is a profound and dangerous shift in the relationship between a government and its citizens, and it must be named for what it is. Mr. Speaker, let us be very honest about what free speech actually means in practice. Free speech, in its truest and most necessary form, is the freedom to criticize, to dissent, to challenge, and to demand accountability from those who govern. That is its purpose. That is why it is protected. We are mindful that there will be those who argue that the law is simply being applied, that no one is above the law, and that the arrests in question are matters for the court to resolve. We do not dispute the authority of the courts. We do not question that the law must apply equally to all. But we also know, as students of history and as people who have lived in this country through its many seasons, that the law can be technically applied and fundamentally abused at the same time. Now, let me deal with what is at stake. Mr. Speaker, some may wonder why this House should concern itself so deeply with the arrest of a number of individuals. The answer is that we are here for the principle, because the principle, once compromised, does not stop at a handful of arrests. It proliferates. History on this continent has shown us with painful clarity how the erosion of free speech begins. It rarely begins with the silencing of everyone. It begins with the silencing of some and the silence of everyone else in response. It begins, Mr. Speaker, in moments precisely like this one. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has built its reputation painstakingly. We are looked upon across Africa as a model, a proof of concept that democracy can take roots and flourish on this continent. Other nations have drawn encouragement from our example. International partners have invested in us precisely because we have consistently demonstrated that our institutions are stronger than any individual administration. We must not, in a moment of political temperature, squander what generations labored to build. History has taught us at great cost that the suppression of political speech has never served this nation well. Governments that stifle dissent do not strengthen themselves, but rather hollow out the very institutions upon which their own legitimacy depends. A democracy that is healthy enough to tolerate criticism is a democracy strong enough to endure. And a government confident enough in its own mandates has no need to fear the voices of those who disagree with it. I call to the other side of this House. Mr. Speaker, we, the minority, hereby appeal without reservation to our friends across the aisle and to every member of this House. Let us be consistent. The standard we apply today to the treatment of the opposition must be the same standard we would demand were the roles reversed. This is not a matter of political courtesy. It is a matter of institutional survival. The norms we establish in this chamber today will outlast every one of us. They will govern how power is exercised and how rights are protected long after this parliament has dissolved and a new one convened. We are not only making decisions for today, we are writing the rules for tomorrow. Ghana's democracy belongs to all of us. It is not the inheritance of any single administration. We are all its custodians, and we will all answer to history for how we chose to steward it in moments exactly like this very one. Our demands as minority, Mr. Speaker, we contend that Ghana has come too far. We have paid too high a price for the freedoms we enjoy to allow them to be quietly diminished in moments of political convenience. Let this House today be the guarantor of those freedoms. Let our deliberations send a message to every Ghanaian in every corner of this country that their voices matter, that their rights are sacred, and that this parliament stands ready, willing, and resolute in its defense of both. Let Ghana continue to be that nation. Let this House, regardless of political persuasion, stand as one voice in defense of the liberties that generations of Ghanaians have fought and in some cases given their lives to preserve. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, colleagues, for your kind audience.
Yes, we, majority and minority, we agreed on 2-2. Is that still standing, Majority Leader? Yes.
Yes. 5-5. I think
4 and then 1 on leadership.
So if 5-5, how many statements can we take today?
plus leadership.
Honorable Patricia Piaget, if it is 5-5,
Yeah.
how many statements can we take today?
2. We are taking 2 statements. Yes.
So 5
So
and
5-5. It's fine.
yes, 5
Yes,
is
it-
25,
it-
25.
oh,
It's
just
50.
No, I don't think so. 4 plus 1. The leadership. Pardon? 5-5. I think 5 minutes comments were not. Please, I think people are very much interested in the subject. So let's give them the opportunity to express
Honorable
themselves.
members, I
Right.
believe
Thank you.
if one person is speaking for 5 minutes and we are taking 5-5, that is 10 people. By 2 statements, we should be going beyond 2 hours. We can operate within an hour. So 3 plus leadership.
Yes, we don't have any objection.
Very well. Honorable Sam George, you have the floor. You are speaking for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank the minority leader for
Timekeeper.
the statement that he has made. In fact, just this past weekend, myself and the minority leader were at the Ghana Journalists Association World Press Freedom Day. Mr. Speaker, it's important that we put in perspective where we sit as a country. Ghana ranked 39th out of 180 countries in this year's World Press Freedom Day, and number 4 in Africa. In 2023, Ghana ranked 62. So we have come from far. Under the NPP, we were number 62 out of 180. Today, under President Mahama, we are number 39. That is progress. And Mr. Speaker, to even put this in perspective, the United States is number 64 in the world. So Ghana is doing way better, 25 places ahead of the United States. So when it comes to press freedoms, Ghana is a shining example under President John Dramani Mahama. President Mahama, and this is not by Sam George, this is by Reporters Without Borders. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama is a president under whose tenure no journalist has been killed. We cannot say that about the immediate past NPP administration. Ahmed Swale is a blot on our national history under the NPP's administration. Under President Mahama, no journalist has had to travel out of this country out of fear for his life. Manasseh Azuri Awuni ran away under the NPP. We are in a better place. President Mahama is a president who does not just tolerate scrutiny, he embraces it, because he believes that when journalists ask the hard questions, they drive accountability. But Mr. Speaker, freedoms are not absolute. Freedoms come with a certain level of responsibility. And Mr. Speaker, under this administration, our colleague Dominic Ayine has not taken any journalist to court. But under the NPP, the Attorney General dragged Ohini Boama Benny to court and got him jailed by the courts. That is the record of the NPP. The likes of Captain Smart, the likes of Kwabna Bobie Ansa, state-sponsored persecution of journalists is a thing of our past that ended with the abysmal defeat of the NPP and will not happen under the Mahama administration. Mr. Speaker, I am happy that in the statement, the minority leader says, and I quote, "We do not dispute the authority of the courts." That's very telling, because just a few days ago, he said he would disrespect a circuit court judge, and he will repeat it and disrespect that judge. I am happy that today he has come to respect the authorities of the court.
Keep his time. Let me recognize Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you have a reputation of calling people to order when they go outside of the rules. Mr. Speaker, with respect, the colleague is misquoting me for his own convenience. I would want to urge upon you to direct him to withdraw that aspect of the submission. Mr. Speaker, if he wants to refer to a statement I've made, he should read it in full. What he has said is not what I've said. That is my submission to you.
Yes, Honorable Minister, take note, do the needful.
Right Honorable Chair, I paraphrased the comments of the minority leader, and he said,
please just do the needful because of the time.
Which is to
he
withdraw
said
what he said.
That was not what he said. He's insisting you read his statement in full.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
And reading that statement in full would have taken all your time.
Yes,
so just
which
withdraw
is
and let's make progress.
Right, Honorable Speaker, if you ask me to withdraw that, he who alleges must prove. The burden of proof is on him to show that what I have said is not what he said.
Honourable members, let's make progress. The statement that the majority leader is offended is ordered to be expunged from the record. Let's make progress.
Mr. Speaker, again from his statement, he says we are writing the rules for tomorrow. Today's rules were written yesterday. And so let us be clear that everyone has a responsibility. We would respect the rule of law. We would ensure that the rights of citizens are protected under the Mahama administration, but citizens have a responsibility. Mr. Speaker, there can be no explanation of saying that you wish to see the president of the land and his wife killed and said, in fact, the word used was executed, and you tell me that that is freedom of speech. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be freedom of speech. And so our demand to the minority, Mr. Speaker, is for them to be circumspect in their choice of words, to call for the execution of the first gentleman of the land and his wife. Mr. Speaker, that is a threat to the president.
Honourable member, your time is up. Your time is up. Yes, Honourable Abu Jinapo.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to this very important and timely statement made by the distinguished minority leader, the Honorable Osahin Afenyo Market. Mr. Speaker, let me just say very clearly and strongly that when you listen to the statement read by the minority leader, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader sought to rise above partisanship and put before this House a matter of national concern, which, Mr. Speaker, I will say has been an issue government after government have been seeking to deal with, the issue of press freedom and freedom of speech. Mr. Speaker, again, our friend and brother, the Honorable Minister for Communication, in his classic fashion, chose to travel on the path of partisanship. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to the Honorable Minister, given that he's the minister responsible for communication, one would have most respectfully expect, Mr. Speaker, that he will approach this subject in a manner that the minority leader did, be non-partisan, and let us interrogate the issue of press freedom and free speech. Mr. Speaker, the examples he gave under President Akufo-Addo are examples that all of us have to continue to interrogate. And the issues that the minority leader raised on this floor, which were not too long ago on the 6th of this month, 2026, reported by reputable international media organization, Al Jazeera, is a matter that we will continue to deal with. Mr. Speaker, as minister, he will realize that in 2001, President Kufuor took such a bold step by repealing the criminal libel law. Mr. Speaker, he will also realize that under President Mills made several attempts to broaden the spectrum of free speech and press freedom. And he will realize again that under Mahama 1, there was further attempt to broaden free speech, and Akufo-Addo did his bit. President Mahama is doing his bit. Mr. Speaker, it is not everything that we have to reduce to partisanship, and I think it's important that I put that on record. Having said this, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that there's a classic distinction between press freedom and freedom of speech. Mr. Speaker, you may have a situation where the press is free. The press is free to do their work. That is press freedom. Mr. Speaker, there is a distinction, there's a gulf. It's like day and night between press freedom and freedom of speech. And what the minority leaders sought to deal with was freedom of speech. Unfortunately, what our Honorable Minister for Communication went, the tangent he went was press freedom. These are two different things. Mr. Speaker, and freedom of speech is so fundamental. Freedom of speech is so fundamental. Mr. Speaker, I'll give an example where sometime in 2010, President Obama, an American citizen, broadcasted publicly that he was going to ban a holy book, one of the holy books of the major religion in our world, as a sign or a demonstration of freedom of speech. And the consequences would have been catastrophic for American foreign policy and American interests. The president did not have him arrested. The president actually invited him, coaxed him, and persuaded him, Mr. Speaker, not to go on that path of freedom of speech. Mr. Speaker, it's also important for me to make this point. Mr. Speaker, when people infringe on freedom of speech, when they abuse freedom of speech, Mr. Speaker, in many cases, the redress is not to arrest them and take them to the criminal justice system. The redress is when your reputation is injured, and when you feel your reputation is injured, even if you are the president, your redress is to take the civil path of defamation. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by referencing a portion of the statement by the minority, and I quote him. He says, "Ghana's democracy belongs to all of us. It is not the inheritance of any single administration. We are all its custodians, and we will all answer to history for how we choose to steward it in moments exactly like this." And I quote. Mr. Speaker, when you're on this side, the right-hand side of the speaker, sometimes these kinds of abuses are accepted. But when you're on this side...
Honorable member, your time is up.